Hello and welcome to this tour of the Lighthouse Church app. We're going to cover a lot of things really fast, so buckle up and let's get this show on the road. First of all, I'm going to go into the App Store and show you how to download it. So I'm going into the App Store on iOS. You can go into Google Play on Android. I'm going to select search, and you're going to want to make sure you type Paola Lighthouse. Not just Lighthouse Church, but Paola Lighthouse. You'll see it's the only real obvious option here. So you'll download it here. I already have it downloaded, so I'm just going to press open and go right into the app. So I'm presented with this series of cells, and I'm going to jump through what each of these does. First of all, I'm going to go into sermons, and you can see in the top left corner you have sermon notes. I'm going to press that, and what sermon notes does is it gives you access to the sermon outline for this week. So from here, not only can you view the outline like you see here, but you can also interact with it and take personal notes. So on verse 3 here, I'm going to touch that section, and you can see I can write a note on verse 3. Click add, and you can see a little note symbol's added. So I could take a note on verse 6, and you can see it's easy to see where you've taken your notes. And then once you're done taking your notes, you can scroll down to the bottom and select email notes, and then you have the ability to send those notes to yourself. And you can see here on verse 3 I have my personal note, and on verse 6 I have my personal note. So your notes will be in line where you took them. You can see you also have the ability to have links like this Bible Gateway link, and in the bottom right corner you can see you have the ability to zoom in or zoom out with that magnifying glass. So let's go ahead and press back in the top left corner, and on the sermon section you also have access to live worship. If I press the live worship button right now, it is not Sunday, so it will not take me to live worship, but if it had been Sunday, it would take me into Facebook where I could watch the service on Facebook Live. So you need to have Facebook downloaded in order for this to work. So if you have Facebook downloaded, pressing that will take you right into Facebook, into Lighthouse Church's Facebook page where you can watch the live service. Below that are all of the sermons divided by sermon series, with the newest sermon being at the top of the list. So if I go ahead and press Romans Not Ashamed, you can see it takes me to a list of sermons here, and I'll select the 218 sermon, and you can see it will bring up the video as well as the ability to listen and watch. I'm going to press listen, and you can see it brings up a player which will start loading the audio for this sermon. And then if I navigate away from this, so I press the home tab at the bottom, you can see that those waves at the bottom continue following me, and I can always get back to the audio by touching that section of the screen. So that covers everything that's possible inside of the sermon section. I'm going to go ahead and press the home button at the bottom. You can see there's a live worship button here. That's the same as the live worship button in the sermon section. They both take you to the same place. You have a news button, which will always take you to the newest newsletter, the recent Beacon newsletter. So the newest one will always be here for you to access directly within the app. Next up is events. From events, you have the ability to add any event to your personal calendar or get more information about any event. So if I press add to calendar for the March 8th event, you can see it asks for permission to add to my calendar. I'll press OK, and it will add it to my calendar. The difference between this and your personal calendar is what you're seeing is Paola Lighthouse's calendar. But if you press add to calendar, we'll add to your personal iCal or Google Cal. Also, information will give you more information about any event that has additional information. So for this pickleball tournament, I'm going to press information, and you can see here is all of the information. If I press the email button, it allows me to email the contact for this event. You can see it fills out who it's to as well as the subject line, and I can just type out whatever my question is. Also, you can see a register for event button is there. If I press that, it will take me right to where I can go to register for that event. So by just scrolling through the list, you can easily see where the registrable events are by looking for that button. Now that covers everything that's possible with the events. I'm going to go ahead and press the home button again. Next up is giving. So I'm going to press giving, and what you have here is the ability to give digitally, safely and securely digitally. You can also text to give, or it just gives you the address for Lighthouse Church so you can show up to church or mail a check to church. If you decide to give digitally, which I'm going to press right here, it will take you to this page. And if you have not already a created account, you can see in the top right corner is a create account button, and you'll just have to fill out a little bit of information so that you can start giving digitally like this. So let's go back into the app and back into the home section again. Next up is the information section. This gives you different ways to get additional information from Lighthouse Church, whether that's emailing, visiting the website, visiting social media, but you can see the top option is notifications. In the notifications section, you not only have the ability to turn on and off notifications so that you can get push notifications, but you also have the ability to toggle on and off what you want notifications about. Because not only can Lighthouse Church send notifications to everyone, they also have the ability to target specific ministries. So let's say I want to get notifications about men's ministry as well as youth ministry. That's what you see I have turned on now. If I also want children's ministry, I'll just toggle that on, and if a notification is sent to children's ministry, now I'll get that as well. I'm going to press the back button. Actually, I'm going to press the home button. Next up is connect. Connect just gives you ways to connect with all different ministries throughout the church and get more information, and this list can be constantly changing, or it may stay the same for a long time. It's up to what kind of information Lighthouse wants to have in here at the time. I can touch any row, like I'll touch Kingdom Kids right now, and you can see it takes me to more information about the Kingdom Kids ministry. So next up, I'm going to press the home button, and the last item here is worship radio. If I press worship radio, it's going to open up Spotify, and it will take me to the worship playlist for Lighthouse Church right here, ready to listen. So I can press shuffle play. This is a free unpaid account, so you don't have to have a paid account to Spotify. I could press shuffle play, and it'll start playing through all of these songs. It'll shuffle through them. If I have a paid account, I could actually select what song I want to listen to. But I could press shuffle play, start playing the playlist, and then go back into the app from the top left corner, and I could be listening to Lighthouse Church worship while inside the Lighthouse Church app. So that covers everything except the youth section, and the youth section just has a few additional neat things for youth, including their own playlist, the youth newsletter, which will always be the newest youth newsletter, as well as a photos tool, which gives you the ability to take pictures. Ta-da! And press use photo, and then you can add your own filters to those. So whether you're in youth or not, I think you may find that you want to use the photo section of the youth section of the app. So that was a quick walkthrough of everything that's possible with the Lighthouse Church app. If you have any additional questions, you can visit faithlink.apps